Oh my god. Get away from me!
Strange creatures are being caught on camera around the world. It's as if they have finally escaped. Aliens in Brazil. Mysterious cryptids and cave monsters never seen before. Watch the entire video and decide for yourself what is lurking around our world. Late one afternoon near Tromsø, Norway, a man out filming the quiet hills spotted something moving far below. This mysterious being had long, jointed legs like a crab, but its upper body looked disturbingly humanoid. It crawled across the rocky terrain with strange, jerky movements, and the way it was moving made the cameraman's skin crawl. The footage was unsettling, and it looked too unnatural to make sense. The creature wasn't spotted afterwards as it walked away beneath where the man was standing. Desert critter. A villager filming the dry landscape captured something terrifying, an enormous, multi-legged creature stretching over 8 feet. Its body resembled a prehistoric centipede or millipede, moving with a slow but deliberate rhythm. How it survives in the harsh desert, where food and water are scarce, remains a mystery. Some speculated it could be an abandoned experiment, while others insisted it was a completely unknown species. This encounter proves that unbelievable creatures aren't only hiding in oceans or jungles. They can appear anywhere, even in the most unforgiving deserts. Folklore monster. One of the most disturbing clips comes from the Uinta County Sheriff's Department, not far from the infamous Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. The grainy body cam footage showed deputies responding to reports of movement near an abandoned property. From the darkness, a pale, emaciated figure appeared, its limbs long and thin, skin corpse white, and feet ending in claw-like points that clicked against the gravel as it moved. Officers can be heard gasping before the creature darted behind a fence line and disappeared at a speed that doesn't look human. Christmas monster. This creepy creature walking on 4 legs was captured this year a day before Christmas in Russia. It was spotted by a man as it made its way through the driveway. The creature was moving very erratically. Whether it's real or not, no one wants to see this lurking inside their house, that's for sure. Shocking creature video. In the Peruvian Amazon, new footage is making waves online. It seems to show what locals call the chulachaqui, a strange, dog-faced humanoid kangaroo that stalks the thick jungles of Ucayali. It stands upright with strong hind legs, a balancing tail, and a long snout like a wild dog. Tribes have whispered about this creature for centuries, claiming it can mimic voices to lead hunters deep into the forest, where paths disappear and time seems to twist. Some recent reports even suggest entire colonies might exist, moving silently through hidden river valleys and vine-choked ruins, almost like packs of these eerie, agile beings. Winged guardian. Deep in the forests and mountains of Germany, a strange recording started circulating, a creature moving slowly through a deserted clearing. Its body looked like a full-grown lion, heavy paws pressing into the soft ground, but its head was unmistakably that of an eagle. Sharp beak, focused eyes, and tucked against its sides were massive wings that twitched every now and then, like it was deciding whether to take off or stay low to the ground. Even now, people across Bavaria and the Black Forest still talk about huge winged shadows passing overhead at night. Some say the cries echoing across the mountains are so loud they feel like they cut right through the air. Whatever was captured that day, it wasn't just a random animal. Lost little visitor. Earlier today, on November 14th, 2025, around 2:12 p.m., a quiet neighborhood in Fortaleza, Brazil, got thrown into full-on panic after a tiny gray figure wandered into a residential street. A home CCTV camera picked it up from about 23 feet away, and even though the clip was grainy and blurry, the creature was still shockingly clear. It had this oversized round head sitting on a small, bulky little body. Its steps were slow and oddly steady, almost too human for something that clearly wasn't human at all. For a few frames, the camera caught its eyes, two dark, shiny pits staring straight ahead as it drifted toward the west side of the street. People online are calling it a small, gray alien that somehow ended up lost in a Brazilian neighborhood. And honestly, with how real that footage looks, nobody's laughing this one off. Canadian centaur. A video has been going viral with hundreds of millions of views, and the uploader claims a Canadian forest ranger captured something unbelievable, a creature that clearly doesn't look like any normal animal. The horse-like creature had the upper body of a human instead of a head and neck. Because of this, people online are saying the ranger might have filmed a real-life centaur. There are other explanations too. Maybe a person walking beside the horse at the exact angle that makes their body blend in. But when you slow down the clip, the body looks strangely connected, almost like one solid creature. No one has been able to explain it fully, and that's why the video feels so unsettling. Winged demon. A terrifying winged creature was caught flying above a village in Mexico, and one of the farmers managed to record it. It was completely dark with massive wings, and it did not seem to have an ordinary tail either. The creepiest part was its glowing eyes. The winged beast had appeared out of nowhere, and it flew away to who knows where. After the mysterious sighting, fear spread across the village really fast, and people started sharing stories that an actual Mothman had passed over their land. Winged beast. A game reserve agent was making his usual rounds inside Serra do Divisor National Park when he caught a strange creature out in the open. It had lion-like legs, a sharp eagle-shaped head, and massive wings folded against its back. The moment he realized what he was looking at, his hands started shaking. It was a griffin, but that creature had never been seen before. He kept his distance, recorded what he could, and sent the footage to the authorities. But by the time a team arrived, the creature was gone. You've already seen the latest sighting, which we showed earlier, but this was the original video that started the entire investigation. Scary flying creature. Deep in the Amazon, a wildlife photographer was tracking birds when something unusual crossed the sky. A huge shadow passed overhead, slow and heavy, nothing like a modern bird. When he zoomed in, he froze. The wings were long and pointed, the beak was sharp, and the entire body had a prehistoric shape. Once he uploaded the footage, the internet exploded. Scientists compared still frames and couldn't deny the resemblance. It looked almost identical to a pteranodon, a giant flying reptile from the Cretaceous era. If that creature truly exists out there, the jungle may be hiding life that survived over 66 million years. Do you think that's possible? Let me know in the comments. 8-limb creature. The driver didn't expect anything strange that night, but his headlights hit something that froze him in place. A huge shape moved across the empty road, and the way its legs moved, that creeped him out. It looked like a spider, just way bigger than anything ever seen before. It had 8 limbs with a slender, long serpentine body, which is why it couldn't have been a mutated Goliath bird-eater. It had disappeared before the cameraman could capture another frame of it. Creature of Kyiv. A mysterious creature was spotted late at night under the pedestrian bridge in Kyiv. Something pale and thin was climbing in the darkness, its unnaturally long arms moving in ways no human could manage. Online debates erupted. Some called it a skinwalker, a shape-shifting being, while others insisted it was a rake, one of the terrifying humanoid creatures from folklore. Whatever it was, it left locals scared, avoiding the area, unsure what might be lurking there next. Sky dragon sighting. Remote places keep proving that we barely know our own planet, and this next clip is a perfect example. A man was out in a quiet rural area when he suddenly glanced up, and something huge was cutting across the sky. Not a plane, not a bird, not anything he could name. The wings were long and powerful, the body stretched out like something pulled straight out of old stories, and the silhouette looked alarmingly close to a dragon. You can even see the shape shift as it rides the air currents. People who reviewed the video said the same thing. Whatever that creature was, it didn't match any known species today. And honestly, if a creature like that survived by staying hidden in remote areas, would we even know? Congolese horror. On November 23, 2024, forest authorities set up trail cameras deep in the Congolese rainforest. When reviewing the footage, they found something impossible, a massive spider-like figure crawling along a narrow path. It moved like a spider, but its size was unlike anything ever documented. Some experts guessed it could be a giant Goliath bird-eater, but others argued it was an entirely unknown species. Whatever it was, it's not a creature anyone would want to meet in the dark. The rainforest may be hiding more ancient and dangerous secrets than we ever imagined. The Night Flyer. This next clip was recorded in the middle of the day, which honestly makes it even worse. A local happened to look up at a nearby tree and spotted a dark figure perched on one of the branches. The shape was impossible to ignore. Small, sharp, and sitting on a fallen tree branch. People online quickly nicknamed it the Night Flyer, even though it was caught in the middle of the day, just close to sunset. Then, the creature opened its wings and flew into the sky, gone in seconds. Old folklore mentioned a winged vampire-like being that appeared before periods of chaos. If this really was that creature, the town isn't sure what comes next. Mysterious city figure. This sighting came from a quiet neighborhood where a resident spotted something standing perfectly still on a rooftop. Its body was tall and thin, almost stretched, and its ears were long enough to bend in the wind. What made the encounter really uneasy was how unmoving it was. It didn't walk away, it didn't jump, it didn't vanish like a shadow. It just stood there, staring over the town as if observing everything below. Some believe it's a guardian figure watching humans from a distance. Others think it's something not from this world at all, just waiting for something. Salem Creeper. Around 1 a.m., on a quiet stretch outside Salem, Oregon, a driver was heading home when something on the road made him slow down. It looked like a pile of debris, or maybe a stranded animal. But as his headlights got closer, the shape revealed itself. Too tall, too human in form, yet not quite human. Its arms stretched longer than any normal person's, and its head tilted slightly, like it was watching him. The driver kept filming, heart racing, but before he could process it, he felt as if the creature was moving toward him. Panic set in. He sped away. When he later reviewed the footage, the figure hadn't moved at all, but something about it unnerved him. Real dragon. What this man spotted one evening will leave you stunned. Filmed in Dallas, Texas in 2018, the footage shows a massive dragon perched on top of a radio tower. Even from a distance, its size was unmistakable. Then, it stretched its massive wings and took off. Apart from the location or year, there's no other information available about this. Mythical fox. A man got lost in Shirakami-Sanchi Forest in Japan. It was so dark that he couldn't find his way out. Then suddenly, he saw a bright glow in the distance, which turned out to be a glowing entity with 9 tails swinging in the air. The sight seemed so unreal that he couldn't help but record it. The entity hopped around before vanishing completely. After that, the man realized that while following the light, he'd unknowingly found the right path. And a 9-tailed fox is a sacred spirit in Japanese folklore that offers protection. Ancient serpent. People have shared stories for years about creatures that are half human and half snake, but this one sighting from India really shook everyone. Locals say deep inside a dense forest, this strange being was seen moving in a forest. It had the upper body of a human. Villagers called it the Naga, a guardian of hidden treasures who only appears when disturbed. Witnesses claimed it stared right at them before sliding back into the woods and disappearing. Similar reports have come from the Philippines too, where people talk about the Bakunawa, a massive serpent linked to lunar eclipses. Russian experiment. The road split open as something came out from underneath, and what it was shocked everyone to their core. A huge, mutated moth-like creature flew out and lunged at the car, leaving the bystanders horrified. The video kept on getting removed from the internet. This made people think that it was an experiment that went wrong, and now they are trying to keep it hidden. River monster. Somewhere in the wild, a chilling sight was captured on camera. A massive creature thrashing something around, most likely a prey. Its body had the rough shape of a crocodile, but this thing was enormous, easily 15 to 20 feet long, far bigger than anything normally seen. The video makes it difficult to identify it accurately, which makes it impossible to see just what kind of a monster this creature was. Night wall creature. A man stepped outside his home for a quick look around when he noticed something crawling along his wall. The creature was huge, too large to be any normal bat, with wide, leathery wings, a hunched body, and sharp spikes rising from its head. Its movements were slow but controlled, almost like it knew he was watching. He recognized the shape from local folklore. The Aswang, a frightening shapeshifter believed to roam at night. For a few seconds, the creature stared his way, then launched itself into the air and disappeared into the darkness. Not long after he shared the footage, more residents from nearby blocks began reporting similar sightings, but they haven't provided any videos so far. Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper is real, but did someone catch him in Mexico? A taxi driver was rolling through a rainy night when lightning lit up a rooftop. That's when he spotted it. This tall, thin shape standing at the very edge of a building. No movement, no sound, just a dark outline against the flashing sky. He kept staring, trying to make sense of it. The shape looked like it had a long cloak hanging off it, almost dragging with the wind. And the way it leaned over the home below, that's what chilled him the most. It felt like the figure wasn't just watching, it was waiting. That looks like the Reaper, or maybe another malevolent entity. Parking lot horror. A parking lot worker was on duty during his late-night shift when the surveillance camera captured something that made no sense. The footage showed a pale, humanoid creature running and ducking under cars, moving with strange, inhuman speed and a hunched, jerky gait. Many began calling it a goblin from ancient folklore. Others suggested it might be a domovic, a dark spirit known for hiding and spreading fear. Whatever it wasn't trapped in stories anymore. It was out here, and no one knows its true purpose. Jungle predator. Do you ever wonder if some creatures from the past are still out there? A tourist in a remote area got a terrifying answer when a fast reptilian creature darted between the bushes. On camera, it looked just like a Congo, a dinosaur thought to have vanished millions of years ago. This isn't an isolated sighting. Deep in the Amazon, trail cameras reportedly captured multiple Congo moving along hidden paths. Scientists are now asking the same question. Where have these predators been hiding? Some think deforestation and climate change are forcing them out of their remote shelters, bringing these ancient hunters into areas humans can now see. Titanoboa found. exploring dense jungle, stumbled across a massive, decaying carcass sprawled on the forest floor. At first, they weren't sure what they were looking at, until a closer inspection revealed the shocking truth. It was the remains of a Titanoboa, the largest snake ever known, believed extinct for over 58 million years. This find only adds weight to the growing evidence of prehistoric creatures still surviving in the world's jungles. It's becoming clear that these forests aren't just ancient in age, they're home to giants that shouldn't exist in modern times. Bigfoot in Colorado. A group of tourists was filming the calm, green valleys of Colorado, capturing the sweeping hills and distant forests, when something in the tree line caught their attention. They assumed it was a monkey, but as the camera zoomed closer, the figure came into focus. It was huge, covered head to toe in thick, dark fur, walking upright with long, powerful arms that swung with a deliberate, almost humanoid motion. And then, just as suddenly, it disappeared into the forest, leaving the group stunned. Black Demon. This was captured somewhere in America, when a horse rider noticed something moving just ahead on the path. This wasn't any wolf he had ever seen. It was black, completely, impossibly black and enormous, taller and broader than any wolf recorded in modern history. Black wolves were believed extinct, but this one moved with confidence, calm and deliberate, like it owned the forest. Scientists who later examined footage suggested it could be a surviving subspecies or a rare genetic mutation. Stalker in field. Driving through miles of farmland can feel endless, but one trip turned completely unnerving. A driver captured something that didn't belong. A tall, thin figure standing alone in the middle of a wide field. It didn't move and kept staring at the driver. No facial features, no eyes, no mouth. Just a pale, skeletal shape that seemed almost unreal. The footage is short, but it leaves a long, haunting impression. Like whatever this is, it's not from our world, and it's watching. Backyard fairy. In Michigan, a woman's security camera caught something no one would expect in a backyard. On September 18th, 2025 footage showed a tiny humanoid figure with legs and hair. Flitting just above the ground, its shape and movements were far too precise to be a bug or shadow. Some viewers swore it looked like a fairy. Others claimed it matched tales of pixies, small but cunning creatures from old folklore. Whatever it was unmistakably alive and captured in clear detail, leaving the homeowner shocked. The Rake returns. A homeowner reviewing CCTV footage spotted a pale, gray figure attempting to climb inside the house. Its body was humanoid but unnatural, thin and elongated, moving in jerky, inhuman motions. For a few seconds, it lingered near the door before retreating suddenly, as if it knew someone was watching. Locals and viewers online immediately compared it to the Rake, a legendary creature from dark folklore. Whether it was just observing or had a different purpose, the sight was chilling enough to make anyone lock their doors tighter that night. Forest mystery. Deep in a forest, a hiker recorded a strange bird that stopped him in his tracks. Its neck stretched unnaturally high, and it stared with an intensity that felt almost human. After a tense moment, the bird lowered its head and walked away silently. The footage went viral, and experts later identified it as an American bittern known for its freezing posture. The bird stretches its neck and stays perfectly still when threatened, often giving off an eerie, almost supernatural impression to anyone passing by. Rock-dwelling creature. Back 4 years ago, a man walking through a park in Nicaragua suddenly caught sight of something moving between a row of giant rocks. A small, hairless humanoid slipped out from the shadows. Thin body, long limbs, and a shape that looked almost human, but not quite. The moment it noticed him, it dropped onto all fours and sprinted away with unnatural speed, vanishing behind the rocks like it lived there. Viewers later connected it to local stories of goblins that were said to hide in rocky areas. Park officials never confirmed anything, so whatever that creature was, it's still a mystery sitting in that park's history. Locked away. A filmmaker checking out an old building turned his camera toward the basement entrance, and something unexpected stepped into the light. The creature had the heavy frame of a lion, but the sharp features of a wolf, nothing that matched any known wildlife in the area. As the clip circulated online, theories came in fast. Some people believed it was a genetic mix that escaped a lab. Others thought the building once housed secret animals. A few even suggested it might be a shapeshifter caught between forms. No official answer came out, leaving the creature's identity just as strange as the footage itself. Shoreline mystery. Beachgoers on the Oregon coast stumbled upon something that made their skin crawl. A strange, lifeless creature floating just off the sand. Its shape was impossible to place. Part manatee, part sloth. Even hints of the legendary Loch Ness Monster. Researchers were baffled, unable to match it to any known species. Some suggested a mutation. Others whispered about secret experiments gone wrong. Whatever it was, the sight left everyone uneasy. A chilling reminder of how little we really know about the creatures hiding in our waters. Texas oddities. After heavy rains in Texas, people started noticing bizarre, wriggling formations. In one garage, a man found what appeared to be a strange blob, but it was actually dozens of tiny worms tangled together. At Eisenhower State Park, rangers discovered over 30 piles of earthworms lined along the road, some over 30 in total. Scientists say flooding vibrations may force worms above ground, or they might group for protection, but seeing them in such an organized, eerie way left locals unsettled. For 2 days, the worms stayed, then vanished, leaving only questions and strange tracks behind. Lake giant. In December of 2024, near Flathead Lake in Montana, a few locals spotted something enormous moving just beneath the surface. The calm water suddenly rippled as a dark, massive shape drifted by. For a moment, people thought they were seeing things, but the movement was too smooth, too steady to be a log or boat shadow. Some compared it to the Loch Ness Monster, claiming the shape looked alive. The creature never resurfaced, but that short clip left everyone wondering what really lurks in Flathead's deep waters. But Loch Ness is not found in America, so this had to be another unknown creature. Street pterodactyl. A man in Pennsylvania was recording a storm when something strange drifted into the corner of the frame. He zoomed in, expecting a bird, but the outline said otherwise. The wings were long and pointed. The tail was thin, and the entire flight pattern screamed pterodactyl, a creature that wasn't supposed to exist anymore. The clip shook viewers because if one pterodactyl can fly over a neighborhood in broad daylight, who knows what else is out there, waiting to be caught on camera, like this next clip. River mermaid. A family was having a quiet picnic by the riverside when something unusual caught their attention near the rocky shore. At first, they thought someone was swimming in the shallow water, but the movements didn't make sense. A long, scaly tail flicking and twisting through the water like a fish, but the upper body was unmistakably human. Shoulders, arms, and a head that turned as if aware of them. The family knew what they had seen, a mermaid right there in the river. It's time for today's subscribers pick.
What is it? No. Oh my god.
A cave explorer was pushing deep into a dangerous, narrow tunnel inside the limestone passages near Ruidoso, New Mexico, a place known for tight squeezes, sharp turns, and echoing sounds that never quite feel natural. He had heard something strange inside, a soft scraping, a dry clicking, the kind of sound that makes your skin crawl even though you can't explain why. He tied a safety rope around his waist, giving instructions to his friends waiting outside. "If I yank hard, pull me out fast." With that, he switched on his GoPro and crawled into the darkness. A few meters in, the beam of his helmet light caught something moving. It was coming towards him fast. A white figure scrambled toward him, and suddenly, it was too close. The camera showed its whole body for a split second. A thin, white shape with 5 legs on each side, moving in an unnatural rhythm. 8 black, beady eyes locked onto him, and its mouth stretched open wide, lined with long, fang-like teeth. The way it opened its mouth looked less like a bite and more like it was trying to swallow him whole. Panicked, he yanked the safety rope as hard as he could. His friends outside reacted instantly and started pulling him back, but the tunnel was so tight that his GoPro smacked into the rock, cutting the footage right there. He didn't say much in his post except that he made it out alive, which is probably the only reason we even know this story. But what in God's name was this creature? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.
What is it? No, no, no. Oh my god. Guys, get away from me. Jesus.